Salamander dude, SaiyanSalamander here, and welcome to my next anniversary wish list. I've talked about my 2021 hopes for Fire Emblem Heroes and for The Legend of Zelda's 35th anniversary already, so it's time for another 2021 hopes and wish list video. This time it's going to be a bit more generalised, and instead of talking about 5 things I want to see from one gaming series, I'm going to be talking about one thing I want to see from 5 different franchises. I'm honestly surprised at myself that this only reached number 5 on this list, but the first series I'm going to be talking about is the Pokemon series. More specifically, about the 15th anniversary of Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. And since it's the 15th anniversary of my favourite gen next year, I think you can all guess what I want to see. I'm hoping we get some really good Gen 4 remakes. Honestly, I haven't really enjoyed a Pokemon game as much since X and Y. I really liked Oras, but other than that, I just really haven't liked any of the games since Black and White 2. So I'm really hoping a reimagining of my favourite gen will just be the thing I need to get me back into the series. They'll probably remake Diamond and Pearl, but I'm hoping they'll take some of the best elements they added into Platinum as well. More Pokemon, the Battle Frontier, the Distortion World, there's a lot of great additions, and hopefully we'll see some more. There's still a fair few Pokemon that never got added into Sword and Shield, so maybe we'll see the ones that are missing added into these remakes. The main thing I want to see though is new Mega Evolutions. It's genuinely been my favourite additions to the new games in the franchise, and I love seeing fan-made Megas and what they're like in fan games too. But we haven't seen any new ones since Oras 6 years ago, so I'd love to finally see some new ones in the Gen 4 remakes. I'd also be down to see some Sinnoh variants too. I've actually come up with a bunch of ideas for them from playing Pokemon D&D. I'll definitely talk about my Sinnoh variant ideas and the other regional variants I've thought up in D&D at another time, but I'll save that for another video at some point in the future for sure. Moving on to the next series on the list, it's Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary. There's actually so much I could do with this franchise, especially on the Switch since there's very few games on the system currently. Not counting games like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games and Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, the only games on the system at the moment are Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. So the Switch could definitely use a few more games to liven up the library a bit more. It's been a few years since the last Sonic game, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a reveal for a new one anytime soon. I'm recording this video in advance, so hey, maybe one's already been revealed by the time this video goes live. They could even port or remaster a bunch of old Sonic games, like Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Rush. There's just so many of the games to choose from, which is why I would love to see some fully remastered, or even just a couple ported onto the Switch, so they're a bit more easily accessible for Nintendo fans. But since the majority of the games are fairly accessible on Steam or on other consoles, and just based on personal preference, I'd rather see one really good remaster than just a bunch of straight up ports. Though the Sonic games that I mainly want to see remastered may not be the first ones to come to mind, but I'd really love a couple remasters of the Sonic Storybook series, Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight. I know they're not the conventional Sonic games, but they're genuinely a couple of my favourite games across the entire franchise. They even originally planned to do a third game in the series, and did a poll to decide what it would be based on too. It was supposed to be based on Greek mythology, and I'm all for Kratos the Hedgehog. So why not remaster the first 2 Storybook Sonic games and finally complete the trilogy with a Greek Sonic game and make a Storybook Saga collection out of it? Maybe if it sells really well, we could get another Storybook trilogy in the future. I know it's unlikely and all, but getting more Storybook Saga Sonic games is definitely my biggest hope for the franchise by far. Another series I'm surprised at myself for its ranking, considering it's my favourite gaming franchise, but somehow the top 2 just managed to beat it. The bronze medal holder goes to the Fire Emblem series. Specifically for the 25th anniversary of Genealogy of the Holy War. I still haven't played any of the old Fire Emblem games to be honest. I've played a bit of Blazing Blade, but then I kinda got distracted by Three Houses release. And hopefully by the time this video is getting uploaded, I've finally started my Sacred Stones playthrough over on Twitch. But I know I definitely have to try them all at some point. Shadows of Valentia is probably my favourite game in the series that I've played so far. And since we've already received a remake of Shadow Dragon and Mystery of the Emblem, I think the next game on the list is Genealogy of the Holy War. I've heard some people are actually pretty hesitant about this one getting remade. I think the reason is the worry about translations and censorship in the remake, making the games worse than the original. Obviously, I can't really have any of these worries, since I still haven't played the original. I just want to experience the game for the first time at some point. They could even release the rest of the original Fire Emblem games that were never released in the West. Shadow Dragon and the Bladed Light would have released a couple of weeks ago by the time this video gets released. And I'd love to see a release in a similar fashion of Gaiden, Mystery of the Emblem, Genealogy of the Holy War, and Fraser 776. Of course I'd rather see a complete remake of the games like Shadow of Valentia, but at the same time I'm not going to complain about us finally getting official English translations of these classic titles. Maybe in 2021 we could get some new English translations next year, and a full-blown remake of another game in the style of Shadows of Valentia. We could even get some HD ports or remakes of 3DS titles too. Whatever we get, I just want to see a bunch more Fire Emblem content next year. I know I kinda drifted off from just talking about Genealogy for Holy War's anniversary, but it's my favourite series, okay? I just want to see a ton more from it. For the silver medalist on this list, I'm gonna go with probably one of the most requested Nintendo series to get a port, remake, or just a new title in general added to the series if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm not talking about Mother 3, even though that would be cool. I'm talking about Kid Icarus. It's been 35 years since the original Kid Icarus game was released, and it's been 9 years since the latest addition to the series, Kid Icarus Uprising. So I'm really hoping we get something in either this year or in 2022 in time for Uprising's 10-year anniversary. We could even get an announcement for it in 2021 and maybe see the actual release of the game in 2022. I don't mind if it's a remake or a HD port of Uprising or if it's a brand new title in the series entirely. I just want to experience more of the series on the Switch. Uprising is a near perfect game in my opinion. The only real problem I had with it was the controls on the 3DS felt really weird. I think I managed to adjust to it after a while, but I would love to play the game with some controls that don't feel as janky. As well as having a fantastic story mode, and it allowed me to visit a series introduced to me by Smash Bros for the first time. The game had a fantastic online battle mode that I've spent countless hours into, and I'm sure I'd spend many more hours on the Switch version of the game. Masahiro Sakurai was the director of Kid Icarus Uprising, so it's really not something I expect to get released anytime soon, especially with him still working hard on Smash Ultimate with the second Fighter Pass. But because of how unlikely it would be, imagine the hype of a Nintendo Direct about to end with them thanking you for watching, and you just hear the voice of Hades saying, "Now wait just a second," and tearing the screen apart in order to reveal a trailer for the Nintendo Switch title. Finally, it's time for the gaming anniversary, which I'm most excited for, which somehow topped the other 4 contenders on this list. And this anniversary is a special one. It's the 25th anniversary of the Persona series, as well as the 5-year anniversary of Persona 5. Persona is a series I've looked at for years with interest, but one I've never gotten a chance to play just yet. It used to only really be available on the PlayStation line of consoles, and since I grew up a Nintendo boy and only just started playing the PC in the last few years, I never really managed to play them. I watched the Persona 5 anime when it came out, since I wanted to experience the series somehow, even if I couldn't play the games. And I know it's got mixed reviews, but as someone who hadn't played the games, I enjoyed it, and it just made me really want to try them out even more. Thankfully this year, Persona 4 Golden was released on PC, and even though I haven't started playing it just yet, I'm really happy I can finally give this series a shot. And it gave me hope that one day I'd be able to play the other games in the series, like Persona 5. And with how well the Steam release did, and with the anniversary coming in 2021, I bet Atlus has a ton of surprises waiting for us. And there's definitely a few things that I have in mind that I'd love to see happen. Like I said earlier, I mainly just want to have the chance to experience more Persona games. Mainly Persona 5 Royal and the Persona Dance game that I was able to play the demo of a couple of years back at Gamescom. Maybe we could finally see some Persona games released on the Switch. Since if I had the option, I'd probably purchase it on there instead of on PC, so I'd be super stoked for this. Atlus seems to have a pretty good relationship with Nintendo, so I don't think it's too out of the question. After all, we've had Catherine released on the Switch, there's a bunch of Shin Megami Tensei games coming out on the Switch next year, and Joker from Persona 5 is a playable character in Smash Ultimate. I'd be perfectly fine with us just getting some PC ports, but I'd be so happy to get some physical copies for the Switch instead. And honestly, that's partially why I still haven't started Persona 4 Golden yet. Persona's just one of the many games I have on my list to play at the moment, so I was kinda hoping that while I narrow down some of the other games on my list that I want to finish, we'd eventually get some Switch ports by the time I finished a few. I highly doubt it will get released next year, but maybe we'll even get a Persona 6 announcement next year. And hopefully this time it won't start off as a PlayStation exclusive, and it'll be available on all consoles and PC at launch. Though to be honest, I might be getting a bit ahead of myself there, especially the part about it not starting off as a Sony exclusive. But would definitely be more than happy if we just got a couple ports like Golden this year, especially if that port is Persona 5 Royale. By making a top 5, I'm probably missing a few gaming anniversaries, so let me know which anniversary you're excited for, and what you'd like to see from 2021 from any of the series that I mentioned in this video, or even ones that I didn't mention too. If you enjoyed, please drop a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and maybe check out some other content I've been doing over on Twitch, which will be in the description below, or just other videos I upload on the channel too. I think I've just about covered everything, so I hope to see you guys around on stream, in the Discord, or even in the comment section too. So until next time my dudes, bye!